Thank you, Minister Coveney, for your relentless work in relation to Brexit and its impact on relationships as we know them on these islands. I think it's always worth mentioning that Ireland never wanted this, and in many ways aspects of this bill underline the absurdity of it all. Why replace convergence with divergence or seamless with separation? And I know that you are doing your very best to deal with what we call the interdependence and interlocking nature of the relationships north and south and east and west, relationships that are the very basis of the Good Friday Agreement, and something that is much more deep and meaningful than trade and neighbourliness alone, and with so much more at stake. And you're dealing with the complexity of the arrangements based on those relationships, the unweaving and weaving them back together as best as you can. And I'm very appreciative that the bill aims to protect citizens, consumers and businesses, the common travel area and North-South cooperation. But despite all of this work, I know that it's still a pity that we are here at all. The Omnibus Bill is one part of the jigsaw, but so too is the future relationship deal and the absolutely vital implementation of the Northern Ireland Protocol. There can be no wiggle room or wiggling out of that. I think it has to be said that you and the government have stepped up for people right across the island of Ireland, north and south, when it has really mattered, as well as people like Claire Hanna, Colm Eastwood and Stephen Farry, to protect lives, livelihoods and ways of life, the bread and butter issues that we take for granted because of cross-border freedom and the Good Friday Agreement. I recognise your commitment to the common travel area, that it'll be maintained in all circumstances and that reciprocal rights are safeguarded. That being Brexit ready is multifaceted, incredibly complex and detailed, and that is reflected in the significance and the size of this bill. As someone that has very close ties to the north, the importance of healthcare access north and south cannot be underestimated. The importance of the EHIC, the European Health Insurance Card for residents for Northern Ireland, cannot be underestimated. Erasmus, third level fluidity, third level access in Northern Ireland to Horizon 2020 funding, hopefully, social welfare arrangements, pensions, childcare, bus services, relationship status, all of which this cannot be underestimated. And I know that you are working relentlessly on all of that. And if you get the opportunity, you might address Erasmus and the Horizon funding. We await further news on the future relationship, but regardless of the outcome of the talks, the full implementation of the withdrawal agreement, including the protocol, is the only way forward. And the protocol does provide for no dilution of the rights, safeguards and equality of opportunity provided for the people of the North as set out in the Good Friday Agreement. And I especially look forward to working with you on that. The EU rights of Irish and EU citizens from the North are specifically addressed. It confirms that Irish citizens in Northern Ireland will continue to enjoy, exercise and have access to rights, opportunities and benefits that will come with EU citizenship. Now, while I have you, I might reinforce the issue of Northern Irish inputs to EU exports as part of the future relationship. Dairy and Irish whisky are integrated all-island industries with seamless cross-border supply chains. Northern Ireland inputs into EU exports, for example, Northern Ireland milk and dairy products finished and exported from the Republic, or Northern Ireland whisky included in Irish whisky blended and exported from the state. And I believe that they will no longer have EU originating status because they contain non-EU inputs. So they will potentially lose existing access to zero or reduced tariffs in markets for free trade arrangements in place. So businesses are anxious that a resolution is being found and that rules of origin and future post-Brexit free trade agreements are changed to allow Northern Ireland inputs in EU exports to benefit from them. In conclusion, I just say that this has always been about relationships. It will always be about relationships. As parliamentarians, we have to reinforce our commitment to building those relationships that have suffered because of Brexit and suffered because of the fall of the executive, and remembering the importance of the three strands. And I know that you are utterly committed to that, and are doing a fantastic job, and hopefully we're going to see a lot of progress in the next few weeks.
Thank you very much, Senator.